the various stages. You can see here that I've got polystyrene stacked one on top of the other. I've got an old vinyl glue PVA that turns yellow, so I'm using that where I cover it with plaster and strips of newspaper. It's just quite simply bits of newspaper soaked in plaster and then draped over to give a very firm finish, and it gives the illusion or the effect of a hill. Even though it looks very angular, it actually smooths out a bit and looks quite good. A bit hard to see, the contrast isn't so great, but you can get a bit of an idea here where it comes down. And then once I've got the plaster all formed and that done, I move into adding some of the scenic elements. But the first thing I do is paint the whole area. It's just a very dull, boring grey paint. And then I touch up and go over highlights with a lighter colour, and then add the green look of grass, a bit of brown dirt, and then finally a few stones just to make it look a little more natural. So once all those elements have been added, this is all glued in place. So they're all firmly, all the dirt, everything there is firmly in place. And that's in place with just spraying the area down with water with a little bit of dish detergent in it, just to break the surface tension. And then I use a very diluted 50-50 mix of PVA, white PVA, and water, and just drizzle that or drape that over it just to secure all the scenic elements. And as you can see, it comes out looking quite alright. So you get some of the contrast. All I wanted doing is just done on the cheap. If I show you over in the distance there, that polystyrene up there, it's all free. It's packaging material with people that have bought desks and the like. So I've picked that up for nothing and then used it around the layout as a scenic element. Unfortunately, because we're in lockdown, I've actually run out of plaster, so I can't do any more at the moment. So this is as much as I can get done. I could paint this area, but I'd rather finish this area here, get it all done, and then come in with the paint and just do a section at a time. So that's really what I'm doing. So I just did this section the other week, just that wee bit between there and down to the bottom. We've more work to be done on the wall or on that edge here because the colours have run. So I'm just going to put a wash over that and just see if that takes out some of this running that's visible. Either that or I just put a bit more scatter on it. And if any of you have seen Marklin of Sweden, I'm going to have a go at doing the toilet paper technique, where you soak toilet paper or have toilet paper with a heavy glue content and you create ripples. So I'm going to have a go at doing that on this little harbour scene here, or little water scene here. So here you can see all the various elements I've got. This is purely a pumice stone. I got this idea from another YouTuber, another New Zealand YouTuber, who recommended pumice from the local hardware store. Run it through a sieve and you can go from fine grades to thicker grades. So this is the leftovers, the coarser element bits that I've got, and it's quite good just as a stone. Then beside that, this, believe it or not, is purely sawdust. You soak it in water, get it wet, add in paint, stir it through, let it dry, and then you can make various shades. So there I've got a dark green, and over here a brown. They look like lumps, but actually they just break up. So that's a wee lump there. Looks like a lump, you just give it a wee break, boom. It just goes into a very simple scatter and ground cover. And then the final element that I have is proper, just real dirt. Just dirt straight from the garden. Again, sieved, so it's nice and fine. And that's the first layer that I put on after I've painted. So I paint with my dark grey, add the dirt, and then add scenic elements with the grass, both darker and lighter green, more dark green, less highlights. And then I put in a wee bit of the dark grey here just to knock down the colour so it's not too bright and glary. And then the final job is a few rocks and stones.